Hey gang, Tom from EnduroWiki here. Looks like we're going to look at another piece of trail here. Picks up where we left off. We aptly called Frank's Trail. I think they called it Shovel Trail. We found a carcass of a shovel laying halfway along it, but it's hung in the tree. I'll see if I can remember to point that out. It's got some off-camber bits, some climbs, some really cool stuff. At this point I'm trying to stay on the guys a little better than just falling in the back there to avoid the sticks and brushes. Not too much in this trail as far as face slappers. We did a pretty good job of cutting it out. And we're doing it last fall on a day pretty much about the same temperatures today, which is just right. Oh, there's the shovel. That's where you cross over, incidentally. This trail has a figure 8 loop in it. Looks like somebody took some branches out of there, got a lot more open than they cut her. The trail needs etched in a little bit. I found myself clicking up a extra gear or two all day long. I'm not sure if that was third or fourth. It's the nice thing with the gearboxes and these things. They have quite a bit of room to work on both directions. Yeah, I was worried about blowing right over the top of that and going over the other side because it's a pretty narrow peninsula? I think it's a peninsula. If anyone knows what this is called, chime in. I mean, obviously it's not surrounded by water, it's just peak. I remember the trees right there as we were just going by when we were cutting this in the fall. There was just so many lantern flies all over the darn thing. I remember today that we don't take the duck out there to the left. If you do that, it's a pretty gruesome bar bashing thing there. You just basically go into like a pit. The leaves are filling a lot of the voids up, so you're not seeing a lot of the rocks or the voids laying. Must have been down this trail 1,000 times, and I've never once gone back up at this direction. Just something a little bit different. So what we're doing now is we're paralleling the ravine that we were down and in on top of that ridge. And there's my fear of downhills, always trying to get me. I don't know why we've never walked along and kept the Dragonback Ridge all the way through here. I guess that's something maybe we'll do this fall. See if we can get it a little more tied in. Oh, go to a different chunk here. Basically just took back over and continued back in on a piece not very far from there. I think I remember doing a battery change. We were doing some exploring. Found a really neat goat path that I think maybe either Trials Bikes guys cut in, or it could be possible the deer putting in their own path, but definitely a little tight. I'm trying to drill this into my friends, like, just don't let that front tire touch them logs, because front tire touches them logs, man, you have a 50-50 shot of going down. So I try to 2 o'clock wheelie every time I can over them logs, within control. It's just bouncing it up. It's not really clutch up wheelies or anything. Putting quite a bit of effort into this trail network out here. So we've got a tree across there. I do remember putting this route around in last year. I forget where we did it. Probably just to go under that stupid tree hang off to the side, but you'll notice this pit is the same pit that you see from earlier. On the other side of it, there's it continues, I believe. On the other side of the dragonbacks there. And another piece of trail comes darn near it, and I always confuse it thinking it's the same one. It's not exactly the same. But I love these rocks hidden in the tufts of leaves. It makes pretty riding out there. You just can't seem to stay on her today. Not that I have any room to talk. I'm off of it the second I stop seeing tags. With the orange leaves, you see tags and they just vanish. It's amazing how much trail you can pack into a tight amount of acreage here. I think we're only in maybe 60 or 70 acre plot of where we've been this whole time we've been talking and riding here, and it just seems like the land is so giving with its versatile terrain. You don't have the same thing all the time, not like climbing all the time or flatlands bobbing and weaving. It must have been timbered, I'm guessing, through here not too long ago, maybe 20 or 30 years. Doesn't look like a lot of old growth in here, so that's why I'm thinking we want to keep putting effort in here, because it'll be around for a while. Trees look, not very mighty here, so that's a good sign. This will be some single track to stay. A lot of people out there are out there claiming to cut trail and put in the hours, and this is really the crew of guys here that are putting in the majority of everything. We spend a lot of time hiking and cutting and putting this stuff in for everybody. Really appreciate what we have here, and we're trying not to take it for granted. I don't know exactly how many miles are in here. It's pretty substantial, though. I'll give it that. It's turning into a nice loop. There's a lot of figure eights and stuff in it that cross over, and as stuff changes and evolves, stuff gets added, deleted. But I really don't think people are spending as much time on it as we thought we would have. It comes pretty dangerously close to a quad trail there. I think we gotta move that so that they can't see that. Think, oh, look, it's in there. We gotta go play around and find some new places. It's like, no, that's not meant for you. All this off-camber stuff. I wish we had more of it. The problem is it gets rutted in so quick and rutted out so bad, so quickly that it just deteriorates to nothing. I noticed there's a lot of stuff in the other side, on the eastern side of the reserve at Locust Gap, that's really rutted down bad. A lot of it happened at a ride last year. I'd love to see some guys get up there and pack some rocks in. I just haven't gotten a chance to get over there and do it. My summers are getting shorter and shorter, and the fall and the spring and the winter are the only times I get to really spend any time out when it's not a foot deep of snow. So if we can get some rocks packed in over there, we gotta get some of them deep rutted trails, because they're, you know, once they get rutted out and too bad, you can't get the bikes in them anymore. There's not really a choice. It's not like land's being created or we're getting new stuff all the time. We gotta take care of what's here. And don't get me wrong, there's always option to put some different neat lines in, but a lot of this stuff, there's only one top of the dragon back, and once it's gone, it's gone. Just a nice afternoon ride, as you can see here. It's just nice, flowy. We're not screaming. You could be screaming, or you wouldn't get a 6 hour, 7 hour day in like we're gonna get in here. I don't know how many hours we were out, but at this pace we typically can get a 6-7 hour ride in. Put in a full shift, as I tell everyone. This piece is pretty well beaten, and this piece must be getting found. I think this comes out to the T intersector by where we came in from before. Trees laying there kind of nice. I think Logan, I think you remember me throwing that tree there that's laying across out of the way, made you jump over at one point or another. This piece will take us out around the bottom of that boulder that people keep moving and changing the rocks on. Seems like every time out there's somebody trying to improve it. Like it was just perfectly put it in, just let it alone. I don't know where this feeling of every trail has to be made for a 10-year 700, but they really don't. Trails are meant for the 302 strokes and the other capable enduro bikes. We don't need to open every single thing up for first day riders riding the wrong bikes. I'm not trying to be egotistical over this whole thing. It's just we're creating things specifically for this platform. I don't know why people think they need to alter and change things for other platforms that they aren't specifically meant for. But just my opinion, I guess. Alright, that wraps us up. Thanks, guys.